How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode in live stream here on Let's Build Twitter. As I said in the last couple episodes, this is the third stream in a row, so hopefully I don't get too worn out here. Last stream actually ended in a bad way because unfortunately the stream crashed. Actually, my entire computer crashed. I'm going to try to record in a different format, so fingers crossed if something does happen in this stream, I should be able to recover it, because there's like a MKV or something like that apparently you can recover if it does crash. So fingers crossed nothing happens, but also hopefully if something does happen, we can go ahead and recover that file. So with that being said, as always, if you guys do want access to the private repository, there's a link in the description down below that walks you through exactly how to do that. In last episode, we just kind of did some debugging. We styled up the post, and we also, I think, well, I don't actually know if we styled up the post. I've done a lot of work recently, but we got it so that verified works as well as organization. So we actually made a whole new controller route and stuff like that for organization. I remembered that we do have like a private account, so I do want to go ahead and set a private account. And then also with our emoji, it's kind of broken, and I also want to test out whether or not the timestamps work. So we'll probably go through and create a few posts that have like timestamps and whatnot. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into our Java code. And to start out, I want to go ahead and I want to set the nickname, because we need the nickname to display on the post. So I'm going to go ahead and say unknown coder here just to make this a little bit better. So good news is that I got our database to be persistent. We're still going to lose data whenever refresh, because this is on create drop right now instead of like create update or update. So I think maybe if we set to create update, it'll be fine. But now whenever we do restart our Docker, it's not going to clear everything out. But now we should have a nickname. So if I actually create a post, and we need to look into why the post isn't getting created, but we can be like hello footer and post. We just see why this isn't actually loading onto the feed. This should be loading onto the feed, but it is what it is. So now it says unknown coder. We are verified. It does say 0 minutes, and this is working. Now, of course, I want to test and make sure that this says like 1 hour, 2 hours, so on and so forth, and then all of those other things, but that's fine. So the other thing that I wanted to do is go into application user, and I do want to go ahead and add a, let's see here. And I might want to make or I might need to also update. Although, never mind. This just takes in nothing, and then we set it manually. Okay, never mind. Cool. So let's scroll down in here. And then, I don't know where we want this. Maybe under... We don't want it under enabled. I'm trying to see where we put like the verified. So here, we'll go ahead and say private, and this will be Boolean, and this will be called private account, and we'll have an at column on this, right? And then name will be equal to, and this will be private, whoops, if I could type right, private underscore account, and it'll be nullable. Okay, I could type nullable will equal to true. And let's also set up our getter and setter. So let's go to the bottom. We'll just put getter and setter down here. Whoops. So the setter or the getter, we're going to have to kind of set up, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and generate. And let's go ahead and generate getter and setter. Both of these. Although I guess I didn't do a verified account. Set verified account, because it's called is verified account. Okay, I don't care about that. So interesting. So here we'll say is private account. We're gonna do something similar, is private account, and we're going to go ahead and say same thing we did here. So like this could be null basically. So we'll say if our private account is equal to null, and this should probably be this private account, but whatever, return false. That way we don't have an issue. Otherwise we'll just do that, and we can do set And then we can go ahead and get rid of this. Hindsight, probably should use Lombok. I didn't use Lombok because sometimes it can be a pain, but I use Lombok every day with work now, and you know, I kind of like it more and more now that I've done more and more software development in enterprise environments. But that's all we really need. We shouldn't have to set anything else. So that is good to go. So now what we want to do is, I guess we want to, let's go back into our front end and actually get the lock icon working. So this was inside discovery, and it's going to be in discovery search result. So here, private account and this. So this gets passed from discovery search dropdown, I believe. So we go to discovery search dropdown. It's going to get passed here. So user, so private account just to go to false. So we need to add this to our user. It's going to have some cascading effects here, so it's fine. So here, user, and we'll just go ahead and put it here. We'll say private account is Boolean, and this should return false or true no matter what. And this is going to break our user slice. So let's fix our user slice. So here, we'll have to come up. Actually, no, we just need to come in here, I think. The rest of it's fine. So we come into here, and below verified account, we'll just say private account is equal to action.payload.logged in.user.private account. So add that, and I think that's it for here, because I think whenever we verify user and a couple other things, this one, yeah, so we just set the logged in. So that's absolutely fine. So now we can come back into our discovery search dropdown, and yeah, I think it's this, or is it not this? Let's see. Yeah, so here we want user.private account, and that should be a Boolean, true or false no matter what, and that should be fine. So we don't have any private accounts now, but now it should show, or if we come into our search drop-down result, now it should show a lock icon if there is one. And I don't know if it should be black or if it should be this color. I'm gonna guess, well, that'd be white, right? I have a hard time believing it should be white, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this color in there just to be safe. But there we go. Cool. So that takes care of that, I believe. So now what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to make a, or kind of want to generate some post here. And I'm trying to think about how I might want to do this. So I think maybe what we could do is, instead of having that Java code at the beginning inside of that application class, maybe we throw Ethan or unknown coder in the as the first line of that other one. Then also add some posts that are kind of within different ranges of like the current time right now. So obviously we have one that was like about 6 minutes ago. So then we can make one that was like a couple hours ago, and then so on and so forth. So if we go back into our post, I can show you what I'm talking about. So like we have one for less than an hour, we have one over an hour, we have one less than so over a day but less than 7 days this year, and then any last year. So I might need to make like grab like an SQL timestamp generator, or maybe just a timestamp generator. Let's see, timestamp generator. Yeah, so I think I found one we can use here. Cool, so let's go ahead and come back into our IntelliJ. And I think inside of our footer, we could probably get rid of this. And actually, we could save to the role table instead of doing this inside of that data.sql probably. So let's actually go into H2 really quick, and I can pull H2 to the side. Actually, we don't need H2, right? Because it's all in here. I'm just dumb. So we come into dbeaver and go into FooterDB, schemas, public, tables, and go into roles. Should have 2 roles, I think. So go into data. I guess we just have user. So there's only 1 role. So we can just add that inside of our data SQL. So let's go to data SQL. And we'll keep probably some of these. Yeah, we can keep these. That's fine. And keep the users. But first, we need to insert the role. So insert. Well, that sucks. Insert into role. And let me just double check this is called role. Nope, it's called roles. Insert into roles. And we're just going to pass in everything. So say values. 1, and then I think it was called user. Okay, and let's just double check this one last time. Yep, so 1 and user, that's fine. And then I want to go ahead and insert into users. And here we do want email. Enabled has to be true. So let me see what we do for unknown coder. So we have the role, obviously. So here we can just set role to 1, which I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised this worked because we didn't actually set the roles. Oh, and you know what though? We didn't log into these. So I guess that's why it didn't break. So role was set to 1, I guess. Or do we have another table for a role? Let's see, do we have another table? Yeah, we have user role junction. Okay, so we'll have to add a user role junction in here as well. So we insert into roles, so we need to create the user. So what do we want out of our user? So we want the user, well actually user ID gets generated automatically, so we skip that. We can add first name and last name. So we'll say first underscore name, last underscore name. Okay, what else do we want to add? We'll add email and username, I guess. So email, username. What else do we want out of here? We don't care about this. Password. Okay, password's important. So I'm going to grab the password out of the user table because otherwise we won't be able to log back in. And I probably could have not cheated, but it is what it is. So let's copy this guy and let's paste it in here. So come in data. Although I don't know why I did that, but we want password so we can log in. All right, good luck, Bob. Bob doesn't know I stay strapped, so you have to come get Bob in multiple pieces. Okay, so after password, what else might we want? Bio, don't care. We need nickname. Bio, I guess we can add bio and nickname, that'll be fine. So bio, we want nickname. What else do we want? We want verified account. Verified account. And then what else do we want? So verified account. Private account can just be false, but we can set that. So private underscore account. And let's see. Private account. Organization can be null. These are fine. Okay, I think that's everything we want out of this. I'm not scared of Bob. And then we'll go ahead and say values. And here, so first name, we'll just put unknown. Second name, coder, email at email.com. This won't help us debug stuff, but it is what it is. Username, unknown coder. Password, we need to grab from our database. So let's grab our password again. Copy it. And hopefully this lets us log in. We'll have to see what happens. Paste that guy. And bio can be software engineer. Nickname will just be unknown coder. Verified account will be true, and private account will be false. So now is the fun part of just seeing if this will even work. I don't think Bob can do that, honestly, if I'm going to be honest with you. Insert into, and this is user role junction, and this will probably be 1-1. So let's just double check that this is actually what it's supposed to be called. User role junction, or is it user's role? Yep, user role junction. And it's going to be whatever the user ID and role ID. This should be user ID 1. So we can do that. And we can go ahead and pass this stuff. So let's just see if this runs. If you want me to get stuff done faster, you need to make the team bigger. Sorry, man, you got to cough up more money. Let's see. System error near 1. See what the problem is. So syntax. Oh, you know what? Values. All right, let's try that. All right, good. Bob can send us more money then. Let's see if it works this time. Not quite. Let's see what went wrong this time. Username unknown coder already exists. Oh, you know what? We can get rid of this code now. So I'm gonna just comment it just in case I need it later. I shouldn't need it later, but you never know. All right, one last try. Fingers crossed this one should work. Okay, so now, cool. So now anytime we get data, or anytime that we reload, we'll just grab it from data SQL. And so on. So now we want to set up a couple of posts that have different timestamps, I guess. So we already have one that was from less than an hour ago. So let's also, we need to look at what the table looks like for post. So come into our post table, go into posts. I might already have post open. No, I don't. Okay, posts. And so it has audience. That should be 0. So we can skip post. We can add content. We need posted date. This is actually pretty small. So we just need audience content. So let's come back into IntelliJ. So let's go ahead and insert into posts. And we're going to go ahead and say audience content. The images must be stored somewhere else, I guess. I'm not sure. We need posted date. So posted underscore date. What else do we need? Reply restriction schedule. So reply underscore restriction and scheduled. I probably could have stole this from below, but it's fine. I don't know if we need schedule date because I'm pretty sure that's just going to be null. So I'm going to ignore schedule date. We need author ID. And then poll ID will be false or null. We don't need it because we're not going to set up a poll. Okay, so now we can go ahead and set up some values. So audience will always be 0. We'll need some content. Posted date is going to be something. Reply restriction to be 0. And then scheduled will be false and author ID will be 1. All right, so now let's do one that is more than an hour away or more than an hour before. So we can go ahead and say like March 9th at, let's see, March 9th at, I'm guessing this is 24-hour clock. Yeah, so let's say at like noon. That'd be like 9 hours ago. And I don't think it matters what the time zone is. Submit. Okay, so I don't know what time zone thing we should do, but if I look back into our dbeaver, it looks like it actually doesn't have a T on it. I wonder if it'd work better if it did have a T on it. Let's just try Atom. Actually, I don't know what to use for this. Let's just try this and see if it goes in. And then see what happens. So come in here. And so the posted date will be this. I'm a little bit scared but whether or not this will actually be able to be pulled or not. And we'll be able to figure this out pretty quickly. Content, be like this was posted over an hour ago, but less than a day. So let's save that. And I guess we could just have like one post. We want to show all of them. So if we refresh, this should pull it. Apparently I'm following. Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah, that's fine. It's because of a couple things, but why is the post that I'm looking for not showing up? So there should have been a newer post. Did I not rerun this? I don't think I reran this. And there's gonna be posts there because I set up some following, or there's some followings and stuff, so I'm following Summer. Okay, so it does not like near insert into posts. Pretty sure that's what I called it. But you know what? I got it in that. So let's try again. These episodes are going to be a little bit weird. I don't know how I'm going to edit them to make it look decent, just because of all the exploratory stuff we're doing. Okay, so this was posted over an hour ago, but less than a day. So that looks good. Now it's doing that's like 4 or 5 days ago. So less than a week. So if I say maybe March, so this is the 9th. So it's like March 5th. This should be like 4 days ago. So it should theoretically, no matter what I do here, it should say like 4 days ago if I did this right. So fingers crossed. So let's go ahead and paste in the new date. It didn't do what I expected. And it looks like it worked though. So like this timestamp is fine. So that's good. What is going on with this timestamp? It's like posting it twice. I don't know. Let's clean this up. It's so weird. Okay, let's clean this. Okay, save and refresh. So now this should say like 4 days ago, basically. So let's see if it does in fact say 4 days ago. Okay, so let's see if we refresh. Okay, 4 days. Cool. So now let's say it's over a week, but it's within this year. So if we say, now if we say like 2/05, this should basically say February 5th or Feb 5th. This one I'm a little bit worried about. We'll see if it works or not. If this just works right out the box, like that's pretty crazy to me that I actually got it to work first try. Refresh. Feb 5. I think that's what Twitter does. I can double check really quick on my profile because I know I have one. Yeah, so it just says, okay, so that actually worked. And then finally, we already know that this one works. Whoops. We already know this one works, so it always says OG, whatever. So, I'll be darned, it just works. What are the odds? Okay, so that's good to go. And we also got the private account going. So now what we're going to want to do is, let me think about this for a sec. So I think we want to work on the emoji. So obviously we're having issues with the emoji. If you type here, like F space, and then put like an emoji, it clears everything. So what I want to go ahead and do is hop into VS Code, close out of this. I have no idea where the emoji stuff is. So I have emoji dropdown.tsx here. We have the search icon. I don't remember. So I think that we're mapping this actually inside of the feed post creator. So let's just close some stuff just to clean this up a little bit. And let's go into our feed post creator. So features, and clean this up a little bit. We want feed components, and we want feed post creator. And come in here. It might actually be in utils, I don't know. We just need to explore a little bit here. So if we take a peek, so we have a link to the username. We need to set that up. That's fine. We have our text area. So here, yeah, so here is we have a current post, convert post content to paragraph. And this comes from where? Comes from our emoji utils. Okay, so utils, and comes from just utils and emoji utils. So what I'm gonna do, here's our convert. So instead of sending back a single JSX element, let's actually send back an array of JSX elements, and then let's map over them and display it over top of the other thing, right? So what I want to go ahead and do is I'm just going to comment this for now. Whoops. That way we just have it for ease of access. We'll still export const convert post content. Actually, I'm gonna name this convert post content to elements, maybe. We'll still take in the content type string, and now we're gonna return a JSX elements array instead. So let's just return, actually let's say let, and how do we want to do this? We'll say let tags equal to, and this will just be a array, and this will be a JSX.elements array, and we'll return those tags. Okay, cool enough. So now what we're going to do is we'll check to see whether or not it is one of those emojis. If it's an emoji, we'll return an image with the class name. If it is not, we'll return a paragraph with the class name. So basically, we'll say let characters type any. I don't know why we need any here. Maybe there's something weird. Array dot from. Like, can I not say string? I don't know why I can't say string. Equal to array dot from. Maybe there is an issue that we had. I don't know. Characters string is declared but never read. String array is not assignable type string. This should be a string array. Okay, I don't know why I did it like that. We don't need the current p tag. We don't need all of that, but we can go ahead and say for, and I don't know if we even need the index. We could literally probably just say for let char in characters, or is it of? I always forget. I think this one's of, actually. I think it's char of characters. So we'll have that. And what we can go ahead and do and say, like, if we'll have our emoji image map. Do we want image map? I guess we do. image map dot find, and then we'll go ahead and find e dot emoji is equal to char. So if it's equal to this, we'll do one thing, otherwise we'll do this. So if this is the case, we will go ahead and say tags dot push. We'll push a image, the class name equal to, I don't know what we do to the class name, but src will be equal to our, I guess we need to have the actual, we'll need the actual image or the actual emoji as well. So we'll also need to, I guess, copy this, let image equal to this, a little bit lazy. So now source will equal to image, alt will equal to emoji image. I could probably say like e dot, I don't know if we have access to e dot, no, I don't have access to e, so that's fine. We'll just say for now emoji image. And what else do we need? I think that's everything we need, except I scuffed that. So we'll push that. What is your problem? Emoji, we'll just say emoji then. Okay, so if it's an image, we'll push this image, and there's got to be, yeah, so I do have a feed post creator emoji, so let's go and copy this, and that's what we'll put here. And then, so there's that. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll say tags.push, and I'm gonna go ahead and push a span with a class name equal to whatever. And we'll just go ahead and throw in that data from the span, and then this will just be char. So basically, we're going to just more or less throw this array into a div that we overlay on top of the other thing and call it a day. This should theoretically work. Okay, so now the issue is going to be we don't have, so this should just be char, right? So we can copy this, just say char here. Okay. Now theoretically this should just work. Now, obviously, it's mad about the convert post content to paragraph, and I'm curious to see if this is even going to end up working, because we're going to do some other work. But let's go ahead and come back into our, wherever it's at, feed post creator.tsx, I think. And now this will be convert post content to elements. And I don't know why I didn't have this idea before. This is a lot better idea. And if we come in here, so we already have, so this is returning a paragraph. So I'm trying to think about what we want to do here. What do we want to do? I think we want a div. Let's see what the old one did. So the old one had a feed post content and dangerously set. So I think we want this class name, and I think we say if there's a current post, and then what we'll do is we'll delete this, clean this up a little bit, and we'll say div class name. I think I copied the class name, div class name, and then do one of these. And then what we'll have to do inside is we'll have to do a convert post content to elements, and we can pass in that state.post.current post.content. So as long as there's a current post, there should be I guess if there's not content, it'll just be nothing. Although I think this is why I was printing out otherwise something else, because I think if we come up here No, post can't starts out as nothing, so I don't know how I was displaying nothing, or I don't know how I was displaying the label. What is what is. So we're gonna do some work on the HTML itself, but we want to go ahead and say this dot map, I think. Or actually, that's just an array of. I wonder what happens if we just have an array of this here. Like, I wonder if we even need to map anything. I feel like you should. I think you have to. You don't have to. Except I'm kind of off a little bit. It just works. That's what I wanted to see. Well, kind of just works. Obviously, styling is off, so I guess the styling didn't work. And we need to make stuff bigger. But you can see where we're going with that. So apparently this feed post creator post content isn't. Oh. Class name equal to this, so I scuffed this. But the class name is definitely not doing anything on the other ones. Now let's see, does it go over the top? It does. Now obviously the spacing is a little bit off, but this is already looking better. Yeah, okay, so now what we need to do is we might also need to like make sure that this like moves down, but let's see what's going on with this. So apparently these class names aren't doing anything, although I didn't put a class name on the span. So let's go ahead and add this here, and we are already using a span, so maybe this will just work. I don't know what this looks like. How far is this off? I think that looks really good. So we had an issue with going over, so say what's poppin', brand new, let's throw a whip in there. Let's go to the car, brand new whip. Just hopped in. Now this is the part that's also scuffed. Yeah, I got options. Okay. So we got to figure out how to deal with this part. Because yeah, so now we're off again. So we got to figure out how to wrap this properly. And the problem is that we can't word wrap this, I don't think, because the entire options got plopped down versus this other part didn't get plopped down, basically. What would be best if I could figure out how to do is, instead of, so like this works until we get to here, obviously. So like best case scenario would be I could return the paragraph, but I know I had issues with the paragraph itself, like setting the content inside of it. But if I had to guess, this should still the content, right? So we almost do still need to merge words together, which is what I was having issues with this one. Or Yeah, this is what made this so difficult. It's the fact that it looks like we are going to need to merge words together somehow. I'm wondering if we could watch until there's like a space. Like, I wonder if we could keep track of the current word. And if there's a space, don't merge those words or something. Like, I wonder if we can still make these into individual spans. Like, this is the span, white space is the span, this is the span, white space is the span, so on and so forth. I wonder if we can kind of merge those together and make it a little bit easier, right? So, like, keep track of the current content. And then that way we could at least word break that, possibly. Because I think the word break is going to be on the div element itself. So the thing is I think it thinks each one of those specific spans is a word, so it's not going to break that, obviously. So what we could do how do we want to do this? We could say let current word equal to an empty string, and we could say if we do this, though, no, it'll be fine. We'll say if the char is not equal to a space character, then we'll go ahead and say current word plus equal to char. And then, did I spell current word wrong? The assignment never used. Whatever. Else. How do we want to do this? We can push both, I guess, because we're going to be on the space character here, right? So we'll want to go ahead and say, I wish I wouldn't have deleted that, I guess, tags.push, and we'll go ahead and push the span here. So I think no matter what, it's going to be easier because this is going to be individual components. And we'll go ahead and push the current word in that span. We'll also push another span with just a white space. So go ahead and do that. I think we have to do that to get it actually to white space. And then current word will equal to an empty string again. So let's see if this will work. I don't know. We might also work on... Now it's really scuffed. Interesting. Okay. That's no bueno. I think it got the car in there. And it's deleting the entire thing, yeah. So that's not gonna work either. Shoot. So that doesn't work. That stinks. Because whenever we delete, it wants to delete the entire span, I guess. Wait, that doesn't make sense though, because it should still... Let's try to type again. Maybe it was just kind of freaked out. Why does it act like that? If char is not equal to an empty space... Oh, you know what? It's because we're not writing... Oh, shoot. Because we're not writing the current word, right? I'm scared if we do this, I'm scared if we do this, it'll scuff stuff, but let's try. Yeah, that's what I was scared of. Okay. How else do we want to do this? I'm just thinking for a second here. Because, like, we could do... we really need to do it on the else, but we need to be able to update current word itself, but we can't do that unless the current word is, or the other thing's an empty space. What's the next option here? Try and think here. Because we do want to group these together, but the issue is updating the actual current span that has the words inside of it. So how do we want to deal with grouping these better? I want to keep this idea. We have the content of the span or whatever. The other option is I mean, we know the size of the array, right? So could we splice the array instead of push? So we could push a space here, but we could splice. Let me look up JavaScript splicing. I always forget to do this. JavaScript splice array. The index to insert at, how many you want and what you want to insert. Yeah, so we could instead, I think, we could find the number of words that are currently in there, right? We can get the index of the current word by saying, so we could say here tags.splice, and we'll say tags.length -1. Now the issue here will be, it could be -1. So we might go ahead and put an empty span in there with just a class name of, so we might start it with one single span. So to put it in the wrong spot. Whoops. We want it in this one anyway. Can I please get the span? Thank you. We'll just put an empty span in here to start. And we'll modify the span. So we'll always have at least one in there. And we'll splice this. We'll splice 0, I believe. And then we want to splice in a span with the current word. I think that should work. Then it should replace the current word. instead of adding to it, theoretically. No, it doesn't. Why? Why did that not splice? Do I have to say tags equal to? I'm about to say tags equal to tags.splice. Although we're not pushing to it, we're pushing here. That just straight up wasn't working. Okay, now it's not adding anything. Tags.length -1 should be 0. Places one element at index 4. I think this should be 1. Let's try this. Nope, nothing. Okay. Tags.length would be 1. -1 would be index 0. How the heck does splice work? Start, delete count, and then the item. Yeah, we want to start at 0. We want to delete 1. We want to add this item. We want to return tags. So why is tags.splice not working? Here we go. Okay, so this did not push. Doesn't seem to push an empty span. Close out of that, I'm messing everything up. Is it because we might need to add 2? We might need to add the next one as well because we're always going to be splicing. So we might need to push 2 things. We might need to also tags.push and then push another empty span to start modifying instead of modifying the space. And then we might also need to do the same thing whenever we update this guy. That we always have a span to slice or splice. So we say, what's poppin'? Brand new. Okay, that still works. Let's grab a whip. Okay, that's no bueno. So what's going on here? We get the car, and let's see. So we get this, so the car is the first one. So why are we seeing? Oh, you know what? This should be an else if. It's not a space character. Yeah. Okay, so that's crisis averted. Oh, let's remove that pole. And let's grab the whip again. So brand new whip. Just hopped in. Yeah, I got options. Boom. Okay, that's working. And maybe we add grandma here. I don't know. That might not be grandma. And now what happens if we post it? I have no idea what it's going to look like. Okay, it works, but we need to do the same exact thing for our display content. But I can't believe how well and easily that actually worked. Well, it wasn't that easy, but that was a good improvement right there. So now I think what we do is we take that same exact thing, this convert post content to elements, and we bring this into our post. That way we can display the correct things Now the only thing is we don't have these. So we have two options. We either hard code the styles, or we have to make a separate function specifically for the post itself, which is kind of ugly. So what do we want to do here? We could also do the dirty trick and just import feed post creator CSS, which is I think where we have these at. So we go into here. I'm guessing this is where this at. Let's see. Location, post button. Input, content emoji, content paragraph, yeah. Content, post content. So we can just, I guess, cheap out. So let's go ahead and copy this, go into our post, and post.tsx. Now instead of content, hopefully this might be too big actually. The CSS might be too big on this. We'll just see what it looks like. So this is done. Inside of content, instead of saying this, we're gonna go ahead and convert this, and then we're gonna pass in the content like that. Let's go ahead and import this. And then let's also go ahead and import that other CSS. Now, I do not like this at all. We shouldn't be doing it like this, but I don't want to recreate this. So post is inside. So we need feed / components / feed post creator / feed post creator .css. Is this the best way to do this? Probably not. If this doesn't work, we might have to actually create a function especially for this. I think that's probably too big. I think Twitter uses like 15 font, and I think this is fairly large font. Let's see, font size 20. Yeah. We could do this. So the other option is we could pass in the class or where this is being used. So location string. And what we could do is use this. This kind of sucks to do. What we could do is this. We could wrap this like so. This is going to be really, really ugly. But we can basically say location equal to, and we can say creator question mark. It'll be paragraph. Otherwise, it'll be post dash content dash paragraph, I guess. It's not really a paragraph. It's actually a span. So I'm going to go ahead and call this span. Okay. And then do the same thing here. So location equal to creator question mark. Inside of this one. Paste, it'll be this. Otherwise, it'll be post dash. Ooh, this was something else though, right? Let's not do that. Let's just do this, I guess. I just want to be safe and not break everything. So here, location equal to creator question mark. We'll do feed post creator content emoji, and I scuff everything somehow. Otherwise, it will be post. What is going on? There. Okay. Otherwise, it'll be post dash content dash emoji, I guess. And then we can copy and paste the same exact class name for the rest of these. Copy this one, paste the class name in here. Okay. In here. And in here. We could have made a function that outputted a string probably. So now if we go into our feed post creator, it's going to complain because we need to pass in creator. Save that, and then inside of our post, we'll pass in post. If we need to expand this, we can. Except I need to make sure I pass in the right spot. And we need to update this. Like I said, we can update it later to have like a switch case or something. Now this is really big, but we say hello, put an emoji in here. Cool. So now obviously we need to style this up. This is super scuffed. So now let's go into our post. Let's grab this guy. So first we'll do the post content span. And I might want to side by side the CSS because this is going to be the same except for the size of the font. So post.css dot this. So I'm guessing we'll just do width is fit content and height is fit content, and then font size will be 15px. And we'll also want, although let's see, we have a content in here, don't we? I just thought about that. But do we not have post content? Yeah. I don't think we need this. We can add all of this though. We have a margin on that. We don't want a margin on that. We'll have to put the margin somewhere else. And post, ooh. That's a width 100%. So we'll have to see. We might not need that. Let's just paste all this. So we already got the font size. And then for the image, or not the image, but for the whatever it's called, we might need to go into feed or the feed post creator and find the emojis. So we did height, width, and some margin. So let's go ahead and just grab this guy. And let's go into post.css. And I think this is post-content-emoji. This one is not as important. Like, these two aren't as important to get right, just because, I mean, I guess you can highlight them, but it's not going to be automatically updating or dynamically updating. So yeah, that looks good. Cool. So there's that. That looks pretty good. We might want some margin on the bottom of, we might need a, we might keep the content thing. So we might keep this post content. This stuff doesn't matter as much, but we can throw this on a div. So if we come back into creator post, although we still have it, right? Oh, okay, no, we're fine. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's why there's still stuff there. So that's good to go. So cool. I think that's basically it for this guy. So now I'm thinking, what do we want to do here? It's still relatively early. So I'm thinking maybe we start messing with replies. I think you can reply to your own content. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can. But I'm thinking maybe whenever we click on this, maybe we first see what the pop-up looks like, and then we go from there. So let me go to Twitter, and if I go into just some random post, so it pops up at the top, and then so it's just a modal, has some content on the bottom, and then it says post your reply, and it's going to act basically the same exact way with a drop down. You can even schedule that. That's kind of strange. You can schedule a reply. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I don't know how that would even work, but I think what we want to do is we already have, if we come into here, I need to think if we want the reply to just be a regular old post, or if we want a special thing or a special object for the reply. Because we need to know like which tweet or which post it's replying to. So we could do, trying to think what we want to do here. So like I think maybe we have a list of posts that are replies inside of the user, maybe, although we don't have the user's post in here, but we do have, I think we have likes, right? Or do we not have likes and stuff? Though we had likes and bookmarks, but maybe I don't. Let's see. Profile picture, banner picture, verified, organization, following, followers, roles. Okay, so I don't even have, interesting. I don't even have like following, or not following, I don't even have whatever it's called. I can't think. I don't even have like bookmarks, replies, anything like that set up. So what does the post object look like? So post. So this has likes, which is another set, which is a set of application users. So we set the likes on this. So I guess we could set a many to many for posts, right? For, I guess we already have reply. So reply is a post. The only thing is, I think we want to be able to keep track of the post that it's replying to, but I mean, maybe we set a new field on here called is repost or is reply. And then repost also has a set of application users. And then bookmark also. So I mean, I'm thinking maybe I should have done it the other way. Opposite way, but it is what it is, I guess. I guess it doesn't really matter which one it's on. Now that I think about it, I think maybe we should have put all these mini to mini on the other one, but this is also just... Okay, so we already have our reply junction. So it's there. We have the reply ID, and we have the post that it's replied to. So I guess we have the information. So we can look into this post reply junction table based off of this, based off the current reply or current post, and get the one that's a reply to that. Because I think whenever we're doing like a thread and stuff, we want to be able to kind of display them side by side or underneath each other. I think that we do want to go ahead and add a boolean called isReply. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll just put it under here, post a date. Do we want to under post a date? I guess it doesn't really matter where it is. at column name equal to is underscore reply, and nullable will be true because we already have a whole bunch of posts in there that I'm not going to update. Private boolean, and then we say reply, maybe that'll work. And then let's see, so what is our constructor look like? So we do have an all args. Let's regenerate the all args again. If I were to redo this, I definitely would use a Lombok here. Okay, that's fine. And then down here, let's go ahead and, so I'm a little bit concerned. Well, it might be okay. We might run into issues with this toString. Generate getter and setter, or reply. Get reply. So here we're gonna go ahead and say if reply is equal to null, return false. We'll just assume it's not a reply. Otherwise, return the reply. We can also set the reply, and then we'll go ahead and do the over the toString. So paste in a generate toString, grab everything. Likes is going to be, this is probably fine. We could probably set up a DTO if we need to for likes and stuff, if we want to just pass back that, but I don't think, I'm pretty sure we ignored the user and stuff, so it shouldn't be an issue with that. So that should be fine here. Okay, and I think the only other thing that we might want to do is, first let's check over our post controller. So it brings in a create post DTO. And what is a create post DTO? This is just a create post without any media, right? Yeah. We have one with media. Okay, that's fine. So let's see what the DTO looks like really quick. Create post DTO has content application user, the replies, which is empty. Well, I guess no, it might not be empty because we could technically have a thread. Okay. So how do we want to do this? We are going to do something slightly different, I guess, because we are going to want to, well, to update the replies of another post. So yeah, we're going to have, I guess, the original post. So let's go ahead and make a new DTO. New, and then, yeah, Java class. We'll call this create, create reply DTO. And I don't think these have like audience or anything. So, and did I make this a record? No, it's a class. Okay. So we need the private original post. So we'll say post and original post. Okay, we need the reply. So private reply. Or let's say reply content. Okay, this will be a string, so this is whatever we send back to them. Okay, and then what else do we need? Do we really need like the date and all that stuff? Well, we might want scheduled, I guess. It also might have a poll attached to it. So create user. So we want scheduled and schedule date and images. So we definitely want that. Although, do we even use, what is our use controller taken for media? Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Post controller for media. It just takes in, yeah, so trying to think about what we want to do here. Really, I don't think we're gonna have an image on this. You can add images to the reply, but I don't think we're gonna have it just because we're going to pass it in as a multiply file. So we're going to have Boolean and scheduled. So I'm just lazy, so I'm going to paste these. And then finally we'll have private poll. Let's go ahead and import this. I think that's everything we really need. Obviously we want to add getters and setters. But yeah, I think that's good. I think honestly scheduled should be a date time. Let's check post really quick. This should be a date time. I'm gonna update this. Although this should be a local date time. Probably is gonna break a lot of stuff. I just realized that needs to have the time in it. So let's fix these. So this should be local date time, and then down here this would be local date time, and here local date time. Okay, let's see, create post, and that made that massive. Of course it did. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care about this anymore. You can go away. All right, so here we need to update the DTO. So create post DTO. This will now be a local date time. Okay, this will also be a local date time. That's the schedule date though, right? That's not even the actual date. So I just set posted date, but we also need to set the schedule date. This should also be local date time. We're gonna fall behind here, but it is what it is. Schedule date should be local date time as well. We'll get all this fixed eventually. Post the date and get posted date, okay. And our schedule date should be a local date time, and then this should be a local date time because we need the date and time for when it was scheduled. Okay, so now inside of our create post DTO, so we don't have the date that this one was created just because we're passing it later. So this one should be a local date time, and this should be a local date time. Okay, and create reply, this should be a local date time. Okay, now post service, this should be a new, I don't know if this is gonna work, local date time. We might be able to say local date time dot now and import this. And it seems like there's another issue somewhere. Yeah, here. So here, local date time dot now. Grab the local time and date. Okay. Now, the consequences it's going to have down the pipeline, who knows? But I want to kind of get reply going here. So, let's do this. I guess what we could do is we could just try to create a post really quick to see what kind of problems we make. Testing with local date time. Okay, seems like it worked. To create a post, it's here. It says 0 minutes ago. Okay, that was easy enough. Cool. So, create reply. I think that's good for this. We'll generate some getters and setters. So generate a constructor with none. We'll generate a constructor with everything. And we'll generate getters and setters. I don't necessarily think we need a toString for this. Okay, so we'll have the post that we're replying to, the content that we're replying, and then if there's a pull on it or whatever, and if there's an image attached to it, we'll send the image through something else. Although I don't remember how we deal with GIFs, so that'll be interesting in the post controller. So the media one has a multi-part file. I'd have to look on the front end, I guess, how I deal with the GIF. But it is what it is. So let's do this. So we'll go ahead and make an app post mapping to /reply. And this will go ahead and return a public post, create reply at request. Oops, request body. And this will take in a create reply DTO, and we will simply return post service dot create reply, which we do not own yet, and let's take in the reply DTO. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this in our post service. I'll start at the bottom. Actually, I like to put it like here. Public post. Okay, and this will be to create reply. And this will take in a create reply DTO. I'm just gonna call it DTO just to make it easy on ourselves. And let's do this, and we will return null for now. So the first thing we need to do is create the post, which we could probably just straight up call create post. Although, so the GIF. Okay, so we do need the image, the GIF, because we could have the URL for the GIF. So let's go ahead and add that in here. I have a Udemy course, but it's not on Java. It's on the MERN stack. But I'm thinking about possibly creating some other bigger content like that as well in the future. So we will want images on here. So I forget what this is like. So we'll say list of images. Yeah, I guess you can't make multiple replies here, so that's fine. So let's go ahead and do this and add the list of images, because possibly we could return the image that is a yeah, I mean, I'll upload it to YouTube, so or I'll upload a video to YouTube saying, hey, Here's like a free version or Udemy course. I'm not sure I'm going to do it yet. I'm trying to create as much free content as I can for people. Because, you know, obviously people don't want to pay for everything. But there'll definitely be a video made for it. So, cool. We'll need our images. I'm trying to think of what is missing from create post now. I mean, obviously we have original post. I guess we don't have author. I guess we will want author, huh? We can get that from the token though, so we don't really need to send that. A reply restriction, and this can just be nothing. I'm just trying to think here. I think we want to try to recreate this guy as best as we can. We need the author for sure, but I think we probably want that in our create reply DTO. So let's go ahead and add the author as well. So private application user author, because we do want to know who created the reply. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and regenerate this. We'll go ahead and generate the constructor. Then we'll generate those last couple things. Generate getters and setters. Okay, that's fine. Now that basically has everything other than replies, which will just have an empty set, and audience and reply restriction, which can just set to everyone. Okay, so now back into our post service. I think what we do is we create a new create post DTO with that data that we have. So let's go ahead and say create post DTO, and we'll say post DTO equal to a new create post DTO. Okay, so we have DTO.get content, get reply content. We need the application user, so DTO.get author. Whoops, DTO.get author. No shot. At 10:30. Why you gotta get me sidetracked? I could have read this in like 30 minutes whenever I got off stream. Now you gotta sidetrack me. Let's go. A 5-year deal? Record-breaking 5-year deal. I'll be damned. I bet that it's got to have some sort of out after like 2 or 3 years, I would bet. Because he's already 30. $32 million per year. Average. I don't know where we can get that money from. But that's wild. All right. Where were we? So after author, we need. Can you tell me what we need here, please? So we need the set of replies. So we'll just say new set of post. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing, buddy? Don't do that. Nuh-uh. No, thank you. New set. What's your problem? New set. new hash set. Okay, what else do we need? So we need the replies, we need the images, so we can say dto.getImages, and then we need our scheduled, so dto.getScheduled. I just realized we don't have a scheduled date, I don't think. Oh, we do. So yeah, dto.getScheduledDate. What else do we need or want? And let's start cleaning this up a little bit. My question is, why do we not just give him more? Why don't we just give him that last year? Why do you have to sit out? After this, we need, what's next? Audience. So audience everyone. Okay, after audience, what do we need? Please tell me. IntelliJ. What do we need in IntelliJ? After audience, we need reply restriction. So reply restriction dot everyone, and finally poll would be dto.getPoll. Is that everything? Okay, we have a post DTO. Then we're gonna go ahead and return create post, because I don't want to rewrite this logic. So although we're gonna go ahead and say post reply is equal to create post with our post DTO, because we also need to get the other post. I don't know if I have the ID. I don't know if I have we do have a get post by ID. Post. Although we already have the original post, right? So we can say DTO dot get original post dot how do we want to do this? So we're going to say set a post and original post replies equal to DTO dot get original post dot get replies. And we'll say, and I spelled original wrong, so let me go ahead and fix that. Original, there we go. Original post replies dot add. We're gonna go ahead and add our reply, and then we're also gonna go ahead and say post repo dot save. We're gonna go ahead and save the. I guess we need to update that original post. So let's say post original is equal to DTO dot get original post original dot set not set reply. Shoot. We need to set the reply. Oh. How do we want to deal with that? We'll set replies equal to original post replies. And we'll go ahead and save original. That'll update that, and we'll return this. So we need to deal with this, because our create post DTO, because if we update it, create post DTO, we're going to update it inside of whatever it's called. I can't think. We're going to update it inside of our React code, and I don't really feel like updating inside the React code, if I'm going to be honest. How do I want to deal with this? The lazy way would be to say this. Reply dot set reply to true. That'd be the lazy way to do it. and then reply.save, or we can set reply true, and then we can say post repo.save reply. This is a lazy way to do this. Will it work? I don't know. But we already set up the post controller, right? Post controller already has /reply, and we're gonna say, yeah, that's fine. So I guess let's go into Postman and see how much of a mess we can make. Now, the thing that sucks is we need the original post. So, which means we need an entire post. So let's do this instead, because I think we get it. Let's change this. So original post. Let's change this to an integer to make our lives easier. And now inside of here, we'll make this an integer. Okay. And this will be an integer. And this will be an integer. Now this is going to break some things, but it's fine. It's going to break some things inside of post service. So now, instead of original, we'll say post original is equal to post repo.getById. That's get reference by ID. Might be find by ID. Find by ID, and we'll pass in the DTO.get original post dot or else throw, I guess. And we'll say unable to unable to save post or create post exception for now. Probably should be like a 404 or something. But now we should be able to say original.get replies. Oops. And that should be fine. And that'll make it a little bit easier on ourselves. The poll can just be an empty object. I don't know what else to add here, so let's go to our create post DTO. As long as we know the create reply, as long as we know the ID of the original post, that'll be fine. So if I'm gonna open up dbeaver on the side and look at our posts. And let me refresh the content really quick. We have more things, okay. We have like 103 here. Now I'm opening up Postman. Hopefully we have a post collection. I don't know. I need to go through and recreate all my collections. I don't. Let me make a new folder. And this will be posts. And let's make a new post request. And this will be a post request to reply. And this will be http:// localhost 8000. I think it's /post/reply. Let me just double check that. So go into our post controller /post/reply. This will take in, we'll need to be authenticated. So one, we'll need authorization. I haven't even tried to log in, but the token, actually no auth, we want it in headers. The tokens last forever, so I can just yoink it from organization, I guess, because I think organization has it. Yep. So let's grab this, copy this. I want to just kind of get this done tonight, and then that'll probably be it, and then we can work on front end stuff later. So there's that. Now what do I want to do? So now we need a body of raw JSON. Okay. And then I'm just going to go into our Java code and copy the create post DTO. Whoops, if I could actually grab our own create reply DTO. We need the author shoot. I don't want to I don't really feel like putting all that data in. And I don't know if we can get away with putting just the ID. We can try, but I don't know if it's going to work. And our ID, if I go back to users, should just be 1. Except I don't know what this is going to expect. I think it's just ID, but I don't remember what to look in our Java code. Application user, or is it user ID? User ID. We could try this. I don't think it's going to work, but you never know. And then original post is just an integer. So I can grab the original post I want to reply to. So let's just say I'm replying to a post that I created, and it's 103. 103. I expect we're going to debug this, so the reply content, we'll just say test reply or something. Test reply, it's not going to have anything crazy in it. Images will just be an empty array. So that'll be easy enough. Okay. Boolean scheduled, we'll just set to false. I don't know why you would want to schedule a, I guess it's probably a troll thing. Like, oh, remind me whenever this happens or whatever. And then people will actually do that. And then schedule date will just be null, I guess. Oops. Null. It could probably be an empty string, but then finally, you know what? This post isn't going to exist, so let's just go ahead and go to post 1. I just realized we have to refresh, so that won't exist anymore, but 1 will because I created it immediately. And then finally, poll will just be an empty object. Let's go ahead and do that. And it'll be an empty object. So before we run this, I'm going to save. I'm also going to take a quick bathroom break because I know I'm going to debug for the last like 10 to 20 minutes. And this is going to be a longer stream. I said I was going to do short ones, but we keep working on stuff. But I'll be right back after a quick bathroom break. Alright, so now here's the moment of pain. We're going to try to reply to a post. I don't think this is going to work. It might work, I don't know. But the original post should exist. Test reply should exist. We do need to go ahead and restart our server, though, for this to work. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm a little bit skeptical this is going to work. But let's see. Okay, footer started. Come back into Postman and send. Okay, 500. Choices is null. List.size. Post service create post. Create reply. So let's see here. Looks like it's an issue with. Looks like it was an issue with the poll actually. Alter table. Huh. Oh, you know what? Let's completely stop the application. We changed the table. So let's try this really quick. I forgot to change. I think it failed before actually. Okay, now it started. But I mean, that probably doesn't fix this. Okay, it's still this. It still says because choices is null. The only thing I can think of is because choices, I think, is coming from our poll. Cannot invoke list.size because choices is null. Side post service 64. Yeah. So I guess we need to set this to null instead of an empty object. Okay, that's good to know. So let's try again. Okay, it created a post. Obviously, author is broken, but it has the timestamp and everything. Okay, post 102 is probably right. That's fine. Everyone can view it. Schedule dates null, that's fine. I think this is fine. Now I'm curious if we go into our dbeaver. Let's see if the replies pop up, and I also want to see what happens if we pull our post. That's not dbeaver. Whoops. Where did my dbeaver go? There we go. I pull our dbeaver and I go into the post. Obviously it showed up. So refresh. I can't believe that just worked. Test reply. And it is a reply, so it's true. And then if we go into our, so I guess this was like post reply junction. Look at the data. Yeah, so we have the post and then the reply. So this post is a reply to post number 1. So we should be able to use that table to get data to populate our front end. So yeah, and then obviously we also want to deal with post or reply with images, which what we'd probably do is do the same thing we did whenever we create media post. So we just grab the string post again, although this will be interesting. We'll probably say string post and then create a DTO. Although we don't use the DTO, we just use the object mapper. I guess I don't know why I did this, but anyway, I think that's gonna do it though. We got a bit done, and it's getting pretty late. It's already 11 o'clock, so I think I am gonna call it there. Tomorrow we'll pick back up on the front end, getting these replies working, so we can at least start doing text replies, and then if we get past the text reply, we can start working on doing non-text replies, so like reply with images and GIFs. But I think we're gonna have our hands full working on the reply creator, basically. So it's basically a modal with some with the person's content and some other stuff. So we have some work to do on the front end. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you all for stopping by. Everyone that liked the stream, also everyone that's watched at this point. Inside the actual video itself, I know these are super long videos, so I appreciate it. As always, I'm Ethan, or No Coder. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode or live stream. Peace out, everyone.